What's going on, guys? Back here at the video. I'm going to recap the Super Bowl. Recap Super Bowl 53 yesterday. Recap the game yesterday. Give my thoughts on the game. Kind of my thoughts on this season. And what I think will, kind of a preview of what I think will happen next year. But Super Bowl 53. Now, when I go on Twitter and social media, I'm seeing a lot of articles and people were claiming that this was the worst Super Bowl ever. Do I agree with that? Absolutely. This was the worst, most unentertaining Super Bowl, if that's even a word. This is the most boring Super Bowl I've ever watched. Panthers-Broncos was more entertaining than this, and that was a bad Super Bowl in my eyes. But it is what it is. You know, we could all be sour apples and sour grapes about it, but I'm not. The game, 13-3, Patriots win yesterday. I want to come up here and act like I'm shocked that happened, but I'm not. I said that the Patriots would win by at least 2 touchdowns. Granted, they didn't win by 14 points, but 10 points is still 2 possessions. And I said that Jared Goff and Sean McVay would fold under the big moment in the big stage. And that exactly happened. So I am not shocked at all that what took place yesterday happened. I am not shocked at all in the slightest. The only thing that I would really be surprised about, that I was surprised about, was Julian Edelman getting Super Bowl MVP. This is coaching. This is the problem I have with Julian Edelman getting Super Bowl MVP. And just how badly the Rams were outcoached in this game. And to be quite honest, the Patriots didn't do much. It was more so how poorly prepared the Rams were. Okay? If you had 2 weeks to prepare for this game, all right, that's the main difference between a Super Bowl compared to a playoff game or a regular season game, right? You get that week in between, obviously. So, for a Super Bowl, you have 2 weeks to prepare for a team. If you were to watch film on the Patriots for 2 weeks, their last few games, you would understand that on 3rd and long, they're going to go to Edelman, Gronk, or one of the running backs. Especially in clutch moments. The ball is either going to Edelman, Gronk, or one of the running backs, and it's fairly predictable. So knowing that Julian Edelman should never have had the big game that he had, especially when you have Aqib Talib and Marcus Peters. So that falls on coaching. The Rams coaching stunk it up. All right. The Rams coaching and Jared Goff was the reason why the game was what it was yesterday. And Bill Belichick. He had a good game plan. But so that really discourages me that Julian Edelman got Super Bowl MVP. I thought one of the running backs or Gronk would get it. Now, granted, Sony Michel did score the only touchdown of the game, so that was his case, and he had a few good runs to start out the game. But without a doubt, Edelman was the star of the Patriots offense, and that should not have happened if the Rams had decent coaching, knew how to use their personnel right, and did their film study. That was sad. That was sad to see a receiver like Edelman, who's basically, you know, like, and Patriot fans can deny it all they want. Julian Edelman's a nobody without Tom Brady in that system. But to have a receiver like that take over a game is pathetic on the Rams' part. And the Rams are inexperienced. That's basically the reason why I said they'd fold, and they did. Like I said, I am not shocked in the slightest that the Rams' offense was as bad as it was. Granted, did I say they'd only score 3 points? No. But I said they'd be shook, and they wouldn't be ready for the moment, and they'd fold, and they did that. Welcome to the Super Bowl. It just shows you how impressive it was that Nick Foles, without his starting left tackle, dropped 41 points on that scheme. Because it is a scheme. All right, it's Belichick's scheme that's the star of that defense, especially in the front seven. Granted, Adrian Claiborne, Danny Shelton, I mean, they're solid players that they got rushing the passer, but they're no all-pros. They're no Khalil Macks. There's no Von Millers. There's no Joey Bozas on that Patriots pass rush from the defensive line. But, man, Bill Belichick, dialed up the twists, dialed up the stunts, dialed up the blitzes, and he had that Rams offensive line out there looking like they're playing a game of Twister with all the twists and stunts that they're playing. Completely outclassed, outmatched schematically. Okay, now the Patriots, they have stars in their secondary. The secondary, quite honestly, is the strength of their defense. Stephon Gilmore is one of the better corners in this game. You know, Patrick Chung, even though he got hurt, he's a solid safety. Devin McCourty's a Pro Bowl caliber safety. That's a nice safety tandem they got. The secondary, from a star power standpoint, is the strength of their defense. But their front seven just schematically destroyed. Absolutely outclassed Sean McVay's offense and the offensive line. Like, that offensive line was shook with all the stunts, twists, and blitzes that Belichick sent, especially the one that led to Jared Goff throwing a pick. So that was huge, right? Bill Belichick twisting and stunning his defensive line around and confusing the Rams up front. And Todd Gurley, don't know why he wasn't being used as much as he should have been, or C.J. Anderson, why the Rams didn't run the ball more. Like I said, it's just a complete coaching dud by the Rams, especially. Now, granted, the Patriots coaches showed up too, but they looked good because the Rams didn't know what the playoffs is like, and the Rams coaches just didn't show up, in my eyes. Jared Goff had a wide open Brandon Cooks twice. All right, one of them he should have had because he dropped it, but the other one, the first one, throw the ball earlier, man. Brandon Cooks was wide open that entire route. But Jared Goff, like I said, he shook. You take away his first read, and he's basically useless. You take away the running game and his first read in the passing game, Jared Goff is very suspect. Carson Wentz is better than him, even with the broken back and playing off of a torn ACL. He's still better than Jared Goff. Doug Peterson is better than Sean McVay. So the media stop glorifying Sean McVay as the next offensive genius. Okay? An offensive genius does not score 3 points in a Super Bowl. An offensive genius scores 41 points in the Super Bowl without a starting quarterback and starting left tackle. That's what offensive geniuses do. Offensive geniuses win 4 playoff games in a Super Bowl within their first 3 years of being a coach. So, Sean McVay is not better than Doug Peterson. And I have my fair share of criticism on Doug Peterson, but Sean McVay is not better than Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson should have won Coach of the Year last year, not Sean McVay. I'm sorry, but that was a robbery. I agree with Matt Nagy, though, winning Coach of the Year this year, though. But next year, I think the Bears will be back. I think next year, the Bears, Saints, or Eagles will be in the Super Bowl. And don't know about the AFC. Like I said, there's a lot of unknowns with the Patriots. Is Gronk going to retire? Is Brady going to retire? But as long as those two are still playing, you can basically count on the Patriots coming back because they're going to be making moves to make their defense even better, and they're going to keep surrounding Brady with more talent. Like I said, they took a chance on Josh Gordon, so they're not afraid to keep adding talent for Brady. But trash Super Bowl, though. I was absolutely trash. Jared Goff didn't show up. Sean McVay didn't show up. The Rams defense did all they could for the most part, except allowing Julian Edelman to get Super Bowl MVP because, like I said, that makes no sense. The Patriots go to 3 guys on third down. Edelman, Gronk, or the running backs. Clump them into one guy, all right? It's pretty simple. I don't understand how the Patriots... Like I said, it's the Patriots. They won the Super Bowl. I carry out the rest of my day like it's a normal day because I'm used to it so much. I exercised and did everything like I did on a normal day. Nothing's changed for me. I'm so accustomed to this. But, it is what it is, man. You could be a sour apple or have sour grapes, but I'm not. And today marks the 1-year anniversary of the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. I still wear this hat proudly. I think the Eagles will be back next year, and I think they'll have a good shot of coming back to the Super Bowl next year if they play their cards right. But this Super Bowl was trash. I absolutely hated this game. Hated it. And I didn't even really care about the outcome. Like, I'm not, mad that the Patriots won. I didn't really care who won this game. I just wanted to be entertained. And I wasn't at all. But props to Bill Belichick, props to Tom Brady. 6 Super Bowl rings, that is absolutely ridiculous. Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time. Definitely the quarterback of my generation, that's for sure. And he did it again. Him and the Patriots defense did it again. Held Sean McVay, offensive genius, scoring 3 points. The media is still going to glorify Sean McVay, but it is what it is. Terrible coaching. Terrible by the Rams. And like I said, the twists and the stunts from the Patriots defense really had that Rams offensive line shook. So, anyways, that's basically my thoughts. I'm not surprised. I basically called this happening. I said Patriots by 2 touchdowns. Still won by 10, 2 possessions. And I said the Rams would fold. They're not ready, and they clearly weren't. So, basically, this is me kind of tooting my own horn, being like, ha, 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 I told you so, I was right. And that's basically all I got. You guys have a good one. I'm snowed in, so I'm bored.